welcome back from intermission. It's part 2 of our haunted house double feature here tonight on the Late Night Picture Show with me, Murph the Clown. Part 2. Look at this poster. That's fantastic. But this movie is perhaps better known as The House That Cried Murder. For all of us 80s kids, there was this remake of The Bride of Frankenstein. At least I think that's what it was supposed to be. It suffered all the horrors of an 80s movie. I went with a Manhattan. Made with Canadian whiskey. Not Canadian Club, but Canadian Club Reserve. Anyway, it's not bad for $16. The Bride. What do we got? Starring Robin Strasser, John Beal, Arthur Roberts, Iva Jean Saraceni? Yeah. This is not The Bride from the 80s. So we'll stick with The House That Cried Murder. 1973 Golden Gate Productions. Directed by... Okay, get ready for me to butcher it. It's a French name. Jean-Marie Pellissier? Pellissier? Yeah. Okay, here we go. Let me have a drink. We got a cherry now instead of olive. Rich girl Barbara meets the man of her dreams in David, one of her father's employees. After showing him her pride and joy, that is the house she designed and built herself, they decide to wed. Her father is against it. Something about that David. There's something about that guy. He's good enough to employ, but I don't know if he can marry my daughter. I mean, I guess you could be there. But reluctantly, he goes along. At the wedding party, his suspicions are confirmed when Barbara finds David upstairs with his old flame Ellen. See, Pop was right about this David guy. Well, after stabbing David in the arm, Barbara disappears. David is left with Ellen and some bad memories. Because he rakes in the big bucks for Daddy's company, he remains employed. The old man forgives him and he and Ellen settle in together. Except for the phone calls. And maybe the wedding dress left on the front porch. Okay, things are definitely not okay here. They are certain that Barbara is harassing them. Certain. Nightmares turn into reality when Ellen finds blood in the bed and a skull hanging over a wedding dress. The phone rings, and she tells the lady on the other end of the line, who we think is Barbara, that she's out of here. See ya. Nice knowing you. David comes home, and where's Ellen? She's nowhere to be found. There's blood on the bed, there's hair in the sink, and a wedding dress at the top of the stairs. The phone rings, and the caller tells David to check Barbara's house. Okay. Throughout all of this, why the fuck didn't we check Barbara's house before now? Is Barbara hiding out there? What's going on? We didn't even look to think until somebody tells us to go. We got to make the movie more suspenseful, so we didn't go. Off he goes, and once there, he breaks in. But he doesn't find Barbara just yet. He finds the old man. Yeah, his boss. And he wants to... pardon me. He wants to show David something crazy. And what happens next is even more crazy. And I'm not going to tell you what that is. Okay. This one's not all bad. I'm going to tell you right up front. It's got that dull kind of color that might as well be black and white. You know, like those old nature films. Well, you kids don't know, but us older folks. You know when they used to wheel the projector in on a cart and show you a nature film in school? And it was like high contrast, low color. Yeah, it's kind of like that. I'll try to copy it with one of my filters. Other than that, this is pretty good. A great cast of people I've never heard of. A taut story with some good old-fashioned psychological suspense. Maybe it's a little long. And we would like to see a little more action. But I don't know. Let's just say that it's not bad. It's a 3-ring circus tonight on Feature 2, The House That Cried Murder, a.k.a. The Bride. But not that bride. I don't know what's going on there. This bucket's been sitting here a while. Surprised a spider didn't take up residence in there while I was sick. Let's get enough to pick from here. How about this one right here? Nice one, monkey. All right, we have a zombie double feature next week. And no, it's not The Walking Dead. Although, Charlie loves The Walking Dead. So maybe we'll get Charlie on here. Okay, Charlie loves all kinds of things that kids his age should love, like anime. and maybe The Walking Dead's a little bit adult for him. But he doesn't have nightmares or anything. He gets it. But we already got, let me see what we got here. We already got Valley of the Dragons that Charlie needs to come on here and review with me. If I can pry him away from his video games long enough to film a show with me. Right here, look. I even got another chair for him. Or any other co-hosts I might have. King of Zombies and Revolt of the Zombies. Now these are both older pictures. Probably both black and white. But that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with them. Join us next week for our zombie double feature. Let's just go ahead and say our vintage zombie double feature here on the Late Night Picture Show. I'm your host, Murph the Clown. If you liked what you saw, give me a thumbs up. If you hated it, give me a thumbs down. Leave some comments. Subscribe. I know y'all lost like minutes of your life watching that. But some of us need some more subscribers. If you got 1.4 million subscribers, you don't need to be saying this shit. Okay? But if you're like me and you can't even have your name on your show, let me say it. Subscribe. We'll see you next week for our vintage zombie double feature here on the Late Night Picture Show. Good night, kids.